Okay, guys, sorry for the late start. A little bit, I clicked the wrong button, but that's what I do. It's what I'm best at. Clicking a wrong button here. Okay, guys, sorry for the late start. Good. Test my own audio here. Let me switch over here. Thank you for joining us today. Ham Radio 2.0 Lunchtime Livestream. My name's Jason. I'm KC5HWB. I'm going to be bringing on Frank here in just a second. But today's live stream is something different. This is something I have not tried before. So if you're watching on YouTube right now and you're not able to chat, it's not broken. Okay, so I'm doing this live stream specifically for my YouTube channel members. This is kind of going to be a trial run. If you're a channel member, you can... I'm going to mute that. My nephew has not been feeling well the last two or 3 days, so my mom just texted me and said that they took him to the doctor yesterday, and he tested negative for COVID. He's like 13, I think. So he's good. He's all good. Anyway, good news. So yeah, YouTube channel members, you can click join underneath the channel. You don't have to do that. It's not an invitation to do that. Of course, everybody's always welcome to do that. But for the people who have already joined, this stream is for you. You guys can chat in the live chat. If this works out well, I might make this a monthly thing, like one of my first or second lunchtime live streams during the month might be just for channel members, and we're just going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So you guys put your questions in the chat. Let me know what you'd like to see upcoming on the channel. I want to know what you think, maybe what you thought about a past video, maybe what you thought about someone else's past video. If you saw something on another YouTube channel that you would like me to try, yeah, that might be cool too. So it's all about the YouTube channel member today. And I'm going to switch over here and say, hello, Frank. How are you?
What is going on, y'all? How's it going? I have a suggestion for you.
Okay.
I want you to try drawing in MS Paint, because that seemed like it was a hit for me.
That was a good, yeah. I liked how you did that, and your explanation of Doppler was quite good as well.
Thank you.
So yeah, I thought you did really well with explaining how the sound of a train comes in. And yeah, I think it was Philip in the chat said you should have done a tank, which...
Yes, a lot of people said, why didn't you use a tank?
Why didn't you use a tank?
They did not think of it.
Right.
Plus, more people can relate to trains as they pass. So that's why I chose a train.
No, it definitely makes sense. It definitely makes sense to...
But it should have been a tank.
Yeah.
Looking back at it. But I had so much fun putting that video together.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was scrambling over the last week to do that, because I looked, I have 36 gigabytes of video for me trying to do satellite communications.
Oh, wow.
And there was no way that's going to fit down to a 15-minute spot. Plus, I haven't even made a contact yet, so there's no ending to it. So I just like, what can I do?
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to cut this up. Okay,
Yeah.
I decided to do parts. So I have beginning, middle, end parts. Great. So what do I do for the beginning? Just me sitting in the field doing this.
Philip says in the chat, I think that was Izzo. I thought Tank Radio sounded like a music major. That's good. That's good. I like that. Yeah, it might have been Izzo in the chat who had mentioned that. But so I think more than one person. Somebody mentioned it, and like 5 other people jumped on board. Yeah, you should have done a tank. You should have done a tank instead of a train. But makes sense. But all right. So, oh, excuse me. Anyway, like I said at the beginning, and I'm going to repeat this several times because we'll have more people. Generally, what happens is the stream starts and you start to see the number of people watching increase. And I suspect that we probably won't have as many watching because people might come by and try to chat and not be able to, and they might move on, which is okay. That's okay. Again, this stream is specifically for you guys who are YouTube channel members. And I just want to know what questions you might have about a past video, what suggestions you might have for an upcoming video, and what you would like to see on the channel. Hey, we're coming into a new year. Thanks to all of you, everybody who's watching the channel, everybody who's subscribed to the channel. 2020 was a huge year for my channel. I mean, I doubled almost doubled in size this year. I keep a journal that I keep right here, and I write stuff down. I just have random thoughts about, oh, I should talk about this on YouTube. I should try this new feature and blah 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 blah. So on January 1st every year for like the last 3 years, I wrote down, okay, here's where my channel is right now, and here's my goals for this year. And I was right over 29,000 subscribers on January 1 of this year. So now I'm at like 56 and a half. So the channel has almost doubled this year, and that's because of you guys, not because of anything. I mean, it's a little bit what I did, but it's really because of the subscribers. It's really all about the subscribers. So Sean Paul asked, Jason, did you get a deer this year? No, I did not. We have about we have about a month of regular season yet and left still. And then we have 2 weeks of extension season where you can shoot a doe or a spike. The weather just got cold in North Texas about a week ago. Deer season started November 7th or whatever the first Saturday was. Deer season just started a week ago. I'm sorry. The cold weather just started a week ago. So mating season hasn't started. What's commonly referred to as the rut. I was saying that to my parents the other day, and they kept laughing at me. They're like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Come on, guys. The rut, the mating season between buck and doe hasn't started yet. It usually waits until after the first freeze, and since it hadn't been cold yet, the buck aren't out there chasing the doe, so they're not coming out of the wood. The big buck are not coming out of the woods yet. But there's a ton of doe all over the deer lease. So rather than shooting all the doe off and scaring the rest off, myself and the 4 other lease members that are on the lease with me decided that we wanted to just kind of wait and see and let the doe have free reign of the deer lease, and just let them go where they want to. And then when mating season starts, hopefully with all the doe we're seeing, the buck will start coming out of the woods and being more accessible. Because extension season, you can shoot a doe anyway. We got plenty of time to shoot doe, so I don't want to scare them all off you. Plus, we got quite a few pigs on the lease this year, so I gotta sneeze. Hold on a second. Gosh,
I can take it for a little bit.
Oh, gosh. Oh, that's terrible.
I still got Jason's video. I've made it out there to Jason's deer lease a little bit, and while I was shooting, Jason did call out that field I was sitting on for that last video was the deer lease field, and it's fun out there. I really enjoy it. Maybe next year I'll be on the lease.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything you want to talk about coming down the pipes?
Yeah, a few things. I was kind of hoping for some more questions in the chat. C741 in the chat. Thanks for joining us today, Rob. Rob can join us because he's a mod. He's one of the moderators on the channel. So myself and Frank and several other YouTubers made each other moderators so that those of us who don't have a whole team working for us, hint hint, can help moderate our premieres when we do like Monday Night Ham Radio and stuff together. So thanks for joining us today, Rob. Mm-hmm. Sean Paul said, Rona actually increased ham radio participation. Your content is good and you're down to earth. Keep up the good work. Thank you for the positive feedback. Yes, it did. Man, I tell you what, the implementation. Now, I don't wish coronavirus was here. I wish that it had never happened. I really do. But, when God gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So the good news that happened this year is, man, it got a lot of people interested in ham radio. And it got the whole online ham radio testing thing to become a reality, which if you watch some of my interviews with Ham Study, Richard, that's it, Richard from Ham Study, he said he's been working trying to get online testing done for like 2 or 3 years. And nobody ever wanted to do it. Well, now all of a sudden is like, hey, there's a great case for it now. So it became a reality in like May or June of this year. And I think, that's a good thing to come out of this whole lockdown mess that we're having to deal with. So anyway, Rona did actually increase ham radio participation and the number of people licensed and this kind of thing.
I think it also helped. Everyone had a much more free time, and they are like, what can I do? The thing I've always put off, let's study a little bit more.
Right.
And go get that test.
Right. Well, people are stuck at home. They got more time to study. Mm-hmm. And there is that knee-jerk reaction to it to where, what if this gets really bad and, not to get political or anything, but what if this gets really bad and people start, looting and writing more than they were, or communication lines go down either due to, some sort of domestic terrorism or I mean, that's an extreme case. Okay. I'm not saying that that's what I think is going to happen.
Let's just say doomsday preppers.
Doomsday preppers type thing. Yeah. And there's some of that. There's some of that in the people who are getting licensed this year. That was, some of them had that mindset. And, I think that it's, I think that there's a small aspect of that. It's probably not as bad as what some of them are describing. But then there's that other aspect of people who just were putting it off because they were spending all this time driving to work and working 8 to 10 hours in the office. And now, well, they got more time because they don't have to make an hour and a half commute, in their car every day. So that was good.
Mm-hmm. A question from Paul here. What's up with Brandmeister adding a password for hotspots?
Yes. So thank you for asking that. Great question. I am answering that in my video that premieres tomorrow, which actually, everyone, Paul, have you watched my video yet? Because it's up there for you to watch. I shared it on my community tab yesterday, and all my YouTube channel members can see it. Okay, so if you didn't see that, you can go watch it now. But it'll post tomorrow night, Thursday Night Ham Radio. It'll post, I think, at 5 p.m. tomorrow night. So, Brandmeister Passwords, good question. You know what? I always thought it was kind of dumb that they added a required password field and then gave everyone the password.
Then what's the point?
Yeah, what's the point? What's the point?
All right.
Okay.
You're kicking off a bunch of old devices that people have forgotten how to edit them, and now they can't use it.
Yeah.
And everyone who is tech savvy enough will just go ahead and put it back in there, unless they're having a bunch of issues with bots hammering them.
Correct. Yeah, and they probably are. They probably.
But then posting the password, doesn't that just recreate the same problem?
Right. Exactly. So, and I think they were having. There's an article about it on the Brandmeister website, and overall, I think it's a good move on their part. I have mentioned before that I'm not a huge Brandmeister fan for reasons I'm not going to get into today. Overall, I think this is a very good move on their part, and the video that I post tomorrow shows how to do it and what I think about it. So, and it's one of those things where I just I think it's.
741 says, "Oh, that's probably why my hotspot stopped working. I haven't bothered to even look at it yet."
Yes, correct. Yeah, Rob, that's correct. It's yeah. So you have to basically, long story short, you have to go on the Brandmeister self-care website. And then you have to set a password, something that is not PASSW0RD, and then save it. And then you have to go into your hotspot and set.
So you have to create a password for your hotspot and not use a public password.
That is correct. Yeah. So everybody's password is going to be an individual password. As like I said, I kind of.
Does it validate against your DMR ID?
No.
So it's just a form but you have to go in there and go.
Your DMR. Okay, so when you go and register on the Brandmeister self-care website, there's a validation step, and it's been 2 or 3 years since I did it. I don't remember the exact steps, and I think they've even updated it since then. There's a validation step where you have to validate yourself. You enter your name and call sign. You have to validate yourself. Once you do that, it pulls the data from radioid.net, and it already knows what your DMR IDs are. So that's auto-populated. So in other words, when you log into the Brandmeister website, Brandmeister self-care website with your own call sign and verified account, it already comes up and it says, here's your 2 DMR IDs. And then underneath the tabs of those DMR IDs is where you enter the password for a hotspot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is absolutely correct. Don, does it affect open spots? Yes, it affects every type of hotspot. Doesn't matter who makes it, that connects to a Brandmeister server. Okay, so if you're connecting,
if I choose another server, I won't be affected because in that drop-down list, there's a huge
but a lot of those are Brandmeister servers. Okay, so if you're connecting, if you're in the USA and you're connecting to BM 3101, 3102, 3103, 3105 or 6, whatever the fourth one is, it doesn't matter if it's an open spot, PyStar, Blue DV, doesn't matter what it is, it's going to require a unique password that follows your unique DMR ID now. So yes.
Philip W0RHP says 2 servers, the 3101 and 3102, suffered from denial of service attacks earlier this year. So that could be a way of mitigating it.
Yeah, that's happened. That's happened numerous times in the past, actually, not just this year. So,
but how's a password negate a denial of service attack? Because you don't need a password to request, hey, give me your IP address. Hey, give me your IP address. Give me your front page.
It's just an added, it's just an added level of security. It's not a 100% fix. It's another level of security. And like I said, I kind of thought that it was something they should have done a long time ago. All right, so for you guys who have not seen that video yet, all of the people in the chat right now who are YouTube channel members have access to watch the video that will go live to the world tomorrow night. I posted it on my community tab yesterday. I'm going to post it again right now for all channel members to be able to see. Premiering tomorrow night. Hashtag Thursday Night Ham Radio. So I'm post that. So if you go into your main YouTube feed, you should see it now. It might take a minute or two to come up, but it will. It's something that all YouTube and all of my patrons and all of my YouTube channel members get to see my videos prior to them going live. What I do is I create the video, I edit it, I upload it, I show it as unlisted, so I can share that link with all the people that are members and supporting the channel, and then it goes live at a scheduled time. So that is what they have it. Let me read through these here. Okay. They do not have it active on 3103 yet. 310102 are password protected now. 3103 is the one I'm connected to, and it works on 3103. So maybe it's not required yet, but I don't know. Maybe it's not required yet, but I always connect. I used to connect to 3102 and I kept having problems with it. So I started several months ago. I started connecting to 3103 and I've not had nearly as many issues with 3103. So all of my hotspots point at 3103 right now. And I just went ahead and changed mine because I was making a video on it anyway. Don says I'm using mine for Fusion. That won't affect you then.
So today might be a big day for me.
Oh yeah? Why? What do you got?
Going down and talking to him about installing a mobile radio in the car.
Oh right, yeah. We traded messages about that yesterday. Yep. So you're doing that later today.
Later today, okay. I'm going down there just talking about the install and how I want it to be installed. And probably sometime next week, I'll say probably Tuesday, because that's the day. No, can't be Tuesday, or Wednesday or Thursday or something. I'll drop it off for a couple of days and get it worked on and done. I'm just making sure I have everything and we have a solid plan.
Good.
But I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm missing it in the car. The couple of days I did have the radio in the car when I did my first antenna video. It was so much fun again. Just driving around, picking up the radio and seeing who was on there, keying up. I can only really do small local or repeaters because it was 5 watts. 5 watts though, with a magnet antenna, when you hit the repeater, they'll hear you. You can't get too far, but it does a great job. So I'm installing that Anytone tri-band and with the tri-band antenna. So
good.
That's gonna be fun, and I like to see if we could jerry rig a way to run more wires or faceplates for wherever they do it, or I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because if I decide to put more radios in the car, I can just easily run another wire or something for their faceplate. Because I think the one, at least for the Anytone, it is a straight cable, so a straight Ethernet cable, which is easy to do.
Oh, you're talking about, no, I was thinking about, you're talking about the
faceplate.
The faceplate cable?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Let's see. There we go. I thought you were talking about the programming cable. The programming cable is a straight through cable also. So I thought,
oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Nice.
just a USB-A plug on one end and the two-prong Kenwood style connector on the other end with no prolific chip or anything like that in
Hmm.
between. So,
Nice.
but yeah, I don't know. The phase separation cable might or might not be Ethernet. I guess
It's a straight Ethernet.
it is a
That's
straight Ethernet. Okay.
when it came to me, it had a cable that long for with the attached plate, but then there was no extension cable for it, and I had to go through and
Yeah.
figure it out. But looking at it, it was a standard Ethernet
Yep.
jack, and the wire, the wire plastic covering all the wires was see through, so that you could see the little strands just
You
going
could
right
see it.
back and
Okay.
forth.
Gotcha.
So I was like, oh, that's
Okay.
a straight cable.
Okay.
Went to Fry's, picked up a $3 or $3 3-foot cable, and boom, it
Yeah.
works.
All right, let me respond to some questions here. Good. When you go this afternoon, I want you to find out what they charge for an NMO mount. Okay?
MMO mount.
NMO.
Mm-hmm.
To drill a hole in the top of a car and mount an NMO, Nancy, November Mike Oscar, mount in the top of a car and run the coax down into the car, hide the coax in the car.
Mm-hmm.
With a PL259 on the end of it. I want you to find that out for me because I want to get that done on my truck. I was going to do it myself, and I still might do it myself. It kind of depends on what they charge. But my schedule is not exactly. I mean, I should have done it by now. Okay, so I thought, well, rather than waiting and doing it all myself, maybe I'll just go get it done, and then I'll work on the other stuff I want to do for the mobile install to my truck. So I want you to get me some quotes. But let me answer some questions in here. So people are talking about not getting notifications for videos on YouTube.
I was just going to sidestep that because that's a whole YouTube.
No, that's okay. No. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's a common theme. If you watch I watch other channels on YouTube outside of ham radio about all kinds of stuff, and a lot of people say the same thing. I don't know what causes that. Here's what I do know. I am subscribed to my own channel with a different email address. And I sometimes get notifications when I go live on my other email address, which YouTube doesn't know that other email address belongs to me. So I sometimes get notifications when I go live, and I sometimes don't. I don't know. So yeah, it's a common problem. I don't think it's anything you're doing wrong, but you should be getting bell if you click the bell notification icon, you should get a notification either when I go live or when I post a new video. I don't know.
Philip says they're more consistent on the app on the phone or tablet.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I believe that is accurate information. Yeah.
To also then answer Paul, I'm getting a quote on and how they're going to install it. They're going to install the radio in my car, brand new car. I don't want to mess it up.
Right.
If they mess it up, I can whine and complain to them. If I mess it up, I can only cry myself to sleep with whiskey.
Okay, so Lee says Brandmeister 3103 changes on December 11th, which is 2 days from now. Okay, good. Like I said, the video that posts tomorrow, I'm on 3103, and the steps are all the same. Doesn't matter which Brandmeister server you connect to. The steps to change your password and self-care website and then add it to your hotspot are all the same, and that's what I show in the video tomorrow. So I didn't know that 3101 and 02 were the only active ones right now, but it doesn't matter because they're eventually going to do them all anyway. So steps are all the same. So thanks, that's good information.
For better notifications, Kyle does bring up Discord. In your Discord channel, you do have a news or latest news, which is majority of you just posting your latest videos and when they come out or go live.
That is correct. Yeah. So I try to keep that latest news channel. I had a bot that was posting in there for a while, and I kind of got tired of looking at the bot myself. And it wasn't always saying the right stuff. So I turned that off, and now I just manually do it. I might try to talk Frank into doing it one of these days. But I just manually post. I just manually post when I go. I post when I go live. My goal is to try to post every time I do a premiere. Because
watch out, I'll start posting my own videos now.
Oh yeah, well there you go. So, but it's I don't know. Yeah, I do try to do that, and I also try to send an email once a week on Friday. That's a recap. Now, that's not going to tell you what's coming up next, but it tells you a recap of what I posted this past week. So, let's see. You have it installed. Ask them what they charge to install an LNMOP mount. Good one, Kyle. Okay, I remoted my CS800D with a 3-foot Cat 5 cable in my truck until I got a 578. Cool. Yeah, unfortunately, at this point in time, the only dual band DMR mobile radio with a removable face is a Connect System CS800D. I wish that was different. So, Rob says, I did in my own 3/8 Inimo mount. That's what I want is the 3/8. It's easy if you have the step cone. I do have that. The real Inimo mounts require a bigger hole and might be a little hard. Yeah. There's, I think the bigger ones are 3/4 inch, maybe 5/8 inch, something like that. Anyway, yeah, the 3/8 Inimo is what I want. And it's, I don't know. It's just a matter of time. I want to check and get a price quote from them, and if it's too much money, I'll be like, no, I'm just gonna do it myself. But one of the reasons I don't have my mobile installed completed yet, I'm working on it. I got all the radios installed in the truck. I bought some new like double-aught gauge positive and negative cables to go from the battery all the way back to the rig runner behind my seat. I got a distribution block to go on between the battery and the cables. I've got Lido mounts for the faces of all my radios. I think all of them. I think I've got all of them. And so the next step is to get the power run, which I'm going to do all that myself, and then to get the antennas run, and then get the runs for the remote, because all the radios are behind the back seat. I have a quad cab pickup. All the radios are behind the back seat of my truck, so I'm going to run them underneath the seats under like a cable wrap or something to the front in between my two front seats, and put them on remote faces with Lido mounts on a certain way. It's kind of hard to describe, but
it's pretty nice how you're doing that to the back of the seats. It's
right.
It's also so convenient. And you need to work on it, pull the seat down, and it's
right.
nice there.
It's right there. Yeah. So
I'm thinking about having them installing the radio in the trunk. Then I have a small power pole distribution box. I'm going to have them run to the battery, so I don't have to have a separate cable for every radio. I just boonk. Plus, you can always open up a trunk, run an extension cord, and then work off a table or workbench outside, and run off the car battery.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm thinking, and we'll see how much they'll charge me. I'm looking forward to it.
Right. Yeah. You'll have to update me on that when you've got that. Okay. Yeah. True. CSS. Note for the remote. Cat 5 longer than 5 feet. You need the power BFD display as well. CS800D. Okay. I have the BFD display for my CS800D, but I'm not going to put that in the car.
Mine's a small head. It's a small one. There's no lot of display on it. It's just old LEDs. Yeah.
Rob asks, what about the DX Commander? I don't think that would mount to a car very well, Rob. Yeah, I don't think that. I think you'd have trouble
mount
going
to a truck very well.
Yeah, I think you'd have trouble going under bridges. I don't know. It's just something. An 18-meter pole on top of your truck. Be really cool looking for about the first trip. So,
you mean the first bridge?
Yeah, well, first trip where you go under a bridge, I guess. So,
Callum did it.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. I'm sure Callum did. In fact, I think he did do it, but he did. It's not like a permanent install. He did like a POTA or something with it. I think I don't remember. He did something with it. It was funny. So I have my FTM 400 under the back seat of my truck, then the head on a Lido seat mount stock up. Yeah, I did that for a while. Currently right now I've got what's called a RAM mount, which had my radios on it for a while, and now it's just got my tablet on it. But I'm doing something different for the actual. I'm changing the configuration around, so like it's hard to explain. But I'll be doing a video on that install. You can rest assured, so that won't be a problem. It was a joke video. Yeah, yeah. Callum's fun. Callum's joke videos are always fun to watch. Seat belt mount and a seat belt mount. Well, there's one for a seat. My RAM mount's mounted to the seat bolt mount. You take the seat bolts out of the two front corners of the front seat, and then the ram mount comes with longer, correct size, but longer seat bolts, and you put the mount over the seat, and then you put the new bolts in it, and it works well that way. You can get ram mounts on eBay and Amazon, I think. So it works okay. I just wanted a little bit different configuration, so I changed that up a bit. Yeah, Don says he mounts his 7100 using a Lido mount. Really like the results. Lido mounts are great. Lido, Lido mounts. That guy comes to Hamcom. Back when we used to actually have Hamfest, he would come to Hamcom every year. He's at Dayton, obviously. I mean, everybody's at Dayton, but I think that what was I saying? His mounts, he makes like customized type mounts for all kinds of stuff. He makes mounts for like microphone clips and the funky looking microphones that are on an Icom radio with just that little. It doesn't have a mic clip on it. It's just got that little bar in the back of it. He makes a mount for that where you can just kind of hang the microphone on a little lip like that. And he makes mounts for radios, mounts for cell phones and smartphones, tablets, computers, all kinds of good stuff. So it's he does a good job with it. Lido mounts, I would recommend those. You guys are going through the roof of your car with an NMMO. How do you manage a headliner, or do trucks not have headliner? My truck has a headliner. So I'll tell you how I had this done. The place that Frank is going today is in Arlington, Don. Cross Point?
Yes.
Cross Point. Yeah, they used to be called DFW Install.
I only know it was Cross Point.
Yeah, I think they're called Cross Point Communications now. I think they used to be DFW Installs. Anyway, the way they do it, the way that I had my pilot car done a couple years ago when I was doing pilot car, the way they did it was they've got the handles above the door. So you've got your headliner in the vehicle. And you've got your handles above the door on each one. And then you've got, I don't know what that was. And then you've got, like sometimes they've got a strip, like a strip of trim down each side. Or anyway, so what they did was they took all that down and just kind of let the headliner hang. And then they would run the coax. And then they drill the holes after that, and you could only see underneath the headliner about yay far. But they drill the holes, and then they would fish the almost like a wall fish. They would they would put the NMO on the coax, and they'd fish the NMO up through the underneath the headliner into the mount, and then screw it down in there from the top. Fish it up through the bottom, screw it down from the top, and it's done. And then you'd run your coax like behind your door, not your door panels, but the panel between your doors, or the window panels on the either side of your windshield, or wherever you want to run it. These guys do this for a living. They were real quick. I was watching it. I'm like, I never would have thought to do that, but that's how they did it, and it was done. In fact, yeah. Frank, if you get them to do that, that would be a really cool video. Just ask them if you can video it and take your phone up there and just, follow them around and see how they do it.
That's a thought. I was just going to drop it off and have them do it and pick it up.
Well, see, and the problem with that is where are you going to go? They've got your car.
I was just going to have someone pick me up and take me home.
Okay. Well, I made an appointment with them when I got my pilot car done, and it took them about an hour.
Oh, that's
maybe an hour and a half, something like that. It wasn't very long. And I just sat there and watched them. And they had a bunch of and they had 2 or 3 cop cars in there at the same time.
Yeah, and they're mostly a commercial installation,
yes.
And they just kind of do this for every now and then when they need, or
right,
someone asks.
Right. So, but what I did was, they let me walk around in the shop, so I get to see all the radio mounts and where they put the radios in the cop cars and how they hide them and how they hide all. And I'm like, man, that's some neat ideas that you wouldn't think of on your own, or at least I was going to
have the antenna mount on my trunk, so I wouldn't worry about the headliner or anything. Plus, the antenna is down there. It's 1.5 to 2 foot long.
Yeah,
I didn't want that sticking up on top of my car and going under, some of those low roofs.
Yeah,
scraping it. And plus, yes, I do have a sunroof, Lee. So that's one thing they asked. Do you have a sunroof? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, we can't really do it to the roof that well. And I said, good, because I wanted it on the trunk. And they go, all right.
There you go. Okay. Jim says I would worry about leaks. There's always that possibility, but if you buy the proper type of NMO mounts, they have rubber gaskets around them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also buy those NMO caps that are plastic and have a rubber, like an O-ring around the outside of them that screw down on top. I mean, if you're drilling into your car, you're going to have to worry about leaks. But yeah, I mean, that's you can take precautions to minimize that quite well. Do they warrant the work on the headliner? My van's headliner is huge. I don't know, Dawn. You'd have to ask them that. I would think so, but I don't know. I don't know.
Never mind.
Yeah. Okay.
I was asking which Dawn it was, but then I just looked up and read
N5 SKT. Yeah. So, Rob says he made a video on his install a few years ago. So maybe go look on Rob's channel. He's got a mobile install done. Philip, my Suburban doesn't have dome lights, just a bunch of reading lights. Yeah. Got to be careful if you have a sunroof that retracts, especially on Ford truck. No, I don't have a sunroof on my truck. My truck is a crew cab, so I've got a huge roof on it. That's all just ground plane. It ought to do really well with some NMOs mounted up there, actually. So, hey, Andy, thanks for joining us today. Let's see. Mine's an 04. Yeah, back the gate. Seems to work good. An 04 what? Suburban? Rob? My truck's an 04, but it's an 04 F250.
That's a thought, Paul. He added these in between his truck battery and his rig runner, a Waxan power automatic DC timer and low voltage disconnector battery guard.
I've got one of those that's I think made by yes, I've got one of those. It's made by Havis. Havis consoles they do police car and fire department car consoles for radios. Yes. The low power when your battery gets down to a certain voltage, it cuts off the power so it runs in your power cable between your radios or whatever external stuff you mount in the car and your actual battery, so it doesn't kill your battery. So basically, you can leave your radios on all the time, and when your battery gets to a certain voltage, the low power cutoff switch automatically cuts it off. So when you go out to start the truck or the car the next day, your battery's still good to start, and then everything comes back on. So yeah,
I would need that because I have killed a car many of times.
Yeah, I used to do that. Yeah, I put one of those in my pilot car. It was great. Really, really worthwhile investment for sure. Will they bond the car for you? Bonding really helps on a truck. I don't know what you mean by bonding. Are you talking about attaching ground straps between like the bed and the frame and all that kind of good stuff for like HF work? You know, I bet that they would. They're not used to doing HF installs. They're used to doing police and fire department installs, and all those guys use like 800 megahertz. So you really need. If what I'm. Yeah. Okay. He says yes. Yeah. So they don't really do bonding for. I mean, you know, some of the Texas DPS guys use HF. So maybe? I don't know. I never asked him that. It's a good question. Set a timer from when you shut off the truck. Oh, yeah, okay. HRO sells them as well.
How does it know to do that timer when the truck's shut off?
I guess just when the
secondary cable or a linkage somewhere to tell it the truck's now off.
Or maybe when because the battery's not going to run, like if the alternator's running, your battery's at 13.8 volts, but, or maybe higher than that, actually. I don't know. It's a good question. Yeah, it might have a second cable. It might have a second cable that tells it when it's running and when it's not. Some kind of alternator cable, maybe. I'm
going to ask about that. They might have those in the shop.
I bet they do.
From them.
I bet they have that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I bet they have that kind of stuff. The ISO gate works as a disconnect and timer also. Okay. The ISO gate, is that the PowerWorks brand? Is that what that is? Kyle says it senses when your alternator kicks off due to the lower amps. Yeah. Yeah, that's I figured it was some sort of alternator meter that would know when the alternator is running and when it's not. So that makes sense. So, Kyle, West Mountain Radio ISO. Okay, West Mountain Radio ISO. Okay, good. Okay, I've seen those, and I think that one's a little bit more sophisticated than the one I use. The one I use is just basically a black box that has a positive terminal on one side and a positive and negative terminal on the other side. And the negative terminal is just to ground the box itself. You just ground it to a ground bolt somewhere in your engine well. But then basically what you do is you cut so it's got a positive terminal on both sides of the box. You just take the line that's currently running in between your radios and the battery and cut it in half, and then attach one end of that line into the pole on this side and the other end of that line in the pole of that side, so that the box is running in line of your positive cable between your rig runner or your radio and the battery. And that, since it's in line of the positive cable, it just senses it's reading the voltage on your battery, and it says, oh, it's getting too low, and it's very, the one I have is very simple. It would be nice to have something more sophisticated that has like a timer and whatnot. It'd be maybe even like a meter on it that tells you what it's doing. Might be kind of fun. I'll look that up. That is, I've seen that ISO gate. I've never gone and read it. I don't have one. I've never read about it. So Daniel, KE8PUL, thank you for joining the membership up here. Appreciate you being there. The West Mountain Radio has power poles on each side. Even better. Even better. So that's good. Of course, the cable I bought, it's going to take a heck of a power pole to the cable I bought's about yay thick. Remember those old pencils that you used to use in grade school that were huge? It's about the size of the cable I bought. Freaking. I wanted, I've got 5 radios mounted in the truck right now. Again, not run power yet, but when I do run power, I'll want to run power to the rig runner for 5 radios. Now, I'm not going to key up all 5 radios at the same time. Okay. But I definitely want it to I don't want power to be an issue. So, Daniel, good day from West Virginia. Thanks for joining, buddy. Good to have you in the chat today. Today is so we've got more. Let me do my disclaimer again. So today's Lunchtime Livestream is for YouTube channel members only. Everybody, it's an open public video on YouTube that everybody can watch, and everybody will be able to rewatch. But the live stream chat today, what's called the super chat, or the live chat today, is only for channel members. This is a new experiment. It's the first time I'm doing it. So if you can't chat today, nothing's broken. Don't worry about it. You're not a channel member, and that's okay. Don't worry about that. I'm just doing it this one time. If it works out well, we might make this a monthly thing, but it is not going to take over the weekly lunchtime live streams. Next week, we're going to do a regular lunchtime live stream, and we're probably going to do a shopping deals for stocking stuffers for ham radio a week and a half before Christmas type thing. 2 weeks from today's Christmas is December 23rd. 2 weeks from today is December 23rd. So we're going to do a Christmas shopping for Christmas. What are some last minute deals you might be able to get? What's everybody wanting for Christmas? What are you expecting for Christmas? Blah, 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 that kind of thing. So
7300.
Hey, there you go. That's good. Dude, I was looking through, where was I looking? Oh, I was recording my video, the video that you sent me the clips for. Don't say what it is. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's going to be posting next Monday.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's up now. I'll send you the link to it. Because I've shared it. Well, I'll be sharing it to my patrons today.
How do you do that, out of curiosity, the mechanics to share just to your patrons? Are you listing it as unlisted video?
Yeah, it's an unlisted video. It's an unlisted video.
Or is there once you have a membership, an option to post publicly but only to patrons?
There is not. There's not,
just curious on the mechanics, technical side.
I'll tell you after we're done. I'll tell you offline.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But I'll tell you after we're done. Dallas Odell, thank you for joining the channel membership today. You are free to chat now. Again, we're not going to keep it this way. This is just it's an experiment. I want to see how it works for channel members. I wanted to say thank you to all the channel members and do a Q&A just for you guys. But next week we get back to the normal, open to everybody lunchtime live streams. And if I continue this channel member thing, it'll only be once a month. It'll be a once a month thing. So thank you to those who are watching both inside and outside of the channel memberships today. So yeah, I'll tell you how to do that, Frank. It's not hard. You just got to kind of know.
Well, I don't even have that perk yet. I'm just curious on how it works.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's not that big of a deal.
Only, just shy of 200 subscribers here. So little channel me.
Well, that's okay. Hey, you know what? 200's a good number, man. I mean, once you break 100 subscribers, you're on YouTube. You've got more than 80% of the channels out there. Because a lot of people just have channels just so they can watch other stuff and comment. Because you can't comment on a YouTube video without a channel. An account.
But account gives you a channel.
Right. So you can't, you have a channel, most people have not even uploaded a video to it. So you have an account there you could upload a video to, but most people don't. So if you have 100 subscribers, then you have more subscribers than all those other accounts and channels out there that are doing nothing. So that's not a bad number. That's for just starting like you did. What do you got, like 4 or 5 videos now?
Roughly around there.
Yeah. For just starting, that's not bad.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9.
Okay.
Minus the welcome video, 8. So.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Good. So. Boy. Yeah. Tamitha Skov did a Patreon only video and accidentally live streamed it. Man, I'm always scared of doing that. I'm always been afraid of doing that. So, Paul, yeah, thank you. This is cool. Less traffic in the chat. Yeah, that's what I wanted to. This is a feature that YouTube adds. I mean, there's a checkbox every time that I had. By default, it's unchecked, so I just leave it alone. But there's a checkbox when I create a live stream that says, do you want to just allow channel members to chat? And I never check it. This is the first time I've ever done it. I wanted to see how it worked. I wanted to see what kind of response I got. And we don't have as many people watching right now. I assume that some people have come by and tried to watch or watched for a few minutes and tried to chat and then couldn't and left. And that's okay. That's okay. This one is just for channel members. So channel members do receive early access to all my videos, like I was saying a minute ago. What I do is I usually this kind of fluctuates. I usually keep videos posted 1 to 2 weeks in advance. So in other words, the video that is posting publicly tomorrow night for Thursday Night Ham Radio, I actually uploaded and shared to my patrons and my channel members yesterday. Now that's only 2 days. Usually I'm a little bit further ahead than that. But the video that's posting next Monday is also uploaded. I just need to create a thumbnail and put the thumbnail on it, and then I'll share it to the channel members and patrons later today. So you'll have that one like 5 or 6 days in advance. And then the video that will post next Thursday is almost done editing, and I'll upload it in the next couple days. So I try to keep like a week-ish of videos uploaded and posted a week in advance. And then once I get those uploaded and ready to go, I share them with my patrons and my channel members, so you guys get to watch them early. So you get to see them before everybody.
So a little bit of inside baseball. How long does it take you to usually edit a video from the raw videos to coming with the final video?
You know, since I've done it so much. In fact, which one was it? Our Wednesday live stream for Black Friday. I think that's the one it was. The Wednesday live stream for Black Friday, which was on November 27th, so it was like 2 weeks ago. That was my 500th video on YouTube, or my 500th episode. Now, some episodes, like some of the Tapper stuff and some of the Hamvention stuff, I'll call it episode part 1 or episode such and such part 1, part 2, part 3. So it's actually 3 or 4 videos, but 1 episode number. That Black Friday live stream that we did 2 weeks ago was through my numbering system, my number 500 episodes. So since I've done so many videos, I've gotten pretty good at it. It'll usually take me 15 to 30 minutes to edit a video.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So depends on how many cameras I used. If I go to a Hamfest, I might have multiple cameras. Everything in the shack here is set up to do as much editing on the fly while recording as I can.
Mm-hmm. That train video, the Doppler video, I think I spent close to 7 to 9 hours on it.
Well, when I started out, I did that. So yeah. In fact, your first video looks a heck of a lot better than my first video. My first video, I was writing stuff on paper and holding it in front of the camera. I mean, it was terrible.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? That might be a fun holiday thing to do. I think we joked about this before, of taking our old videos.
Yes.
Well, mine are still relatively new, and just kind of poking fun at them in a happy and fun manner.
I want to pitch that to the YouTubers bunch and see who's interested in doing that. So yeah, I definitely want to do that. So Oof Radio in the house. Thanks for joining us today, Michael. Saw Frederick up there, KF3 EMS. Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you guys being here. Rob741 says it takes me an hour or two for most videos. So Rob doesn't do much in the show. Rob, most of yours are outdoors. You know, if you're outdoors and you're doing different angles and you're not, and you don't have a computer, if you're not recording to a computer, like what I do when I'm in the shack, if you're out and about, it does take longer to edit those out and about, those in the field videos, than it does if I'm using Streamlabs to record and switch between scenes. I do all that while recording instead of having to do it in editing post-production. Well, so
most of those videos I shoot are out in the field with the single camera. With the single camera, doesn't take too long, to be honest. My first antenna videos was about an hour or two. Yeah, it wasn't that long. But when I shot the train explanation or the videos where I'm at the desk behind me, I have two cameras. Yeah, I got the one camera is the desktop recording, one camera is the overhead shot, which Resolve does make it easy where it can set up multi-camera shots. So all you got to do is click on the video when you want to. Yes. Then that makes it much easier to hide cuts too.
Right. Yeah.
I do want a second camera. I have one, but it is a wide angle, and I just hate how that wide angle looks. It's just.
What kind of camera is it?
It's a USB.
Okay.
1080p camera. Yeah. Webcam, but it's just a wide angle one. So I can mount it, but then you see me relatively in focus, and everything else will fall away and curve away. I just hate how that looks.
Yeah.
So I haven't used it.
Hey, Don Izzo, thanks for joining the membership of the chat, buddy. Kind of thought you were a member already. Maybe not. Maybe you joined and dropped off, which that happens sometimes. But thanks for joining anyway. You've got chat privileges now, and you'll be able to see all the videos I post early as well. Which I kind of, like I said, I kind of thought you were already, but maybe not. I don't know. But yeah. So Izzo's going to be joining us. Hopefully Rob will be there as well. We're going to do our next happy hour 2 days from now.
Yes. Really looking forward to that.
So yeah, I think Izzo will be there.
Depending on the weather, I might be outside.
Good. You know, it's supposed to be nice all week. And of course, this is at 8:00 at night, so it's going to be dark. I don't know. I don't know if you want to be outside or not. So,
well, I have 90-watt bulbs I throw in there, my lights.
But do they keep you warm?
Projects. Well, yeah.
The thing about it being dark, nice. I don't really care if it's dark. I care if it's cold.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If it's nice.
Yeah.
I'll have a cigar. If not, I'll just be up here drinking.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna be sitting right here in the heated shack. So, oh gosh, that's good. So, okay. 741 says so Rob and Don did a POTA video, and it's posting next Monday. That'll be fun to see. It'll be really fun to see that. You guys, thanks for being here in the chat today. Bob Greenberg, W2CYK, joined the membership. And with everything I've given Bob, you know, I kind of thought he would have been a member already, but I don't know. I just like teasing Bob because he's a good sport. Thanks for joining today, Bob. Bob's going to come back and do some and talk about some of his new RFinder products.
Oh,
Probably, I don't know. We might do a special episode, special episode sometime this month because I've got my 2 next Wednesdays kind of already planned. Or we might do something in the first part of January. So I don't know. He was supposed to be on last month. He had a minor emergency arise. So we're gonna definitely get him back on. In fact, Bob, I had 2 or 3 people email me. I get emails after I do live streams, and people who either they saw the live stream after the fact and they couldn't comment in real time, or maybe they did comment and I missed it because a lot of times the comments are going by real fast.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
But and you do a good job with it. And you do a good job with it.
I do pick and choose comments. So sometimes I won't choose your comments. Sorry.
Yeah. Well,
I try to lace them in to help a organic flow of a conversation.
Right. So no, and that's all good. That's all good. But after the last time Bob was on, which I think was about 2 weeks ago on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's that time that you had over 100 donations.
Was it that? Okay, maybe that's when it was. Yeah, maybe that's when it was. Okay. So the last time Bob was on, I got 2 or 3 emails from people afterwards saying, man, you should bring Bob on more regularly because he's very photogenic on the camera. He's very interactive with the camera. And I'm like, that's a good point. I think we'll probably do that.
Someone's lying there.
Yeah. Obviously they don't know Bob very well, but
I know, right?
Yeah. But anyway, no, he's all good. But we'll probably have Bob on a little bit more regularly upcoming starting in next year. And start 2 or 3 different new things next year. Start to try some new. This is today's stream for the YouTube channel members only is one new thing I'm starting, and try 2 or 3 new things starting next January as well. I'm looking forward to doing some experimentation. So, okay, so Oof Radio is Michael Oof Radio, KD9OOF, which is a fantastic call sign, by the way. He's an RFinder owner. Got an RFinder B1. Bob, you say, what's my connect in? I don't know what that means. Got a call, have to go. Hey, Don, thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate you joining us today. So, Izzo, yes, I do love my RFinder. Yeah. So, Bob, as I was saying earlier before you joined, put me on camera. Join us for the happy hour on Friday. This coming Friday, 2 days from now, at 8 p.m. Central Time, which will be 9 p.m. for you. Join us for a happy hour. I'm going to be hosting our next happy hour. We've done happy hour once a month for the past 2 months. This will be our 3rd month in a row. Several YouTuber, ham radio YouTube guys, a couple of our quote super fans like Don Izzo and a couple other guys will be joining us. I might even have 1 or 2 guys who have responded to my other channel. Frank, do you have a link to my other channel?
Which one?
The one that the new one, the one I've been talking about YouTube on.
Yes, I got to dig it up, but
that's fine.
Maybe.
So I have a new channel. The channel's not new, but I've kind of revamped it. I used to do like Galveston type vlogging on it. So I have a new channel that I'm doing, or I have another channel I'm doing something new with, which is how to build a YouTube channel that kind of focuses on ham radio, but is more generalized than that. So in other words, it's going to be a YouTube channel that tells people how I built my ham radio YouTube channel. And you can do the same thing, whether you want to do it for ham radio or a cooking channel or a car repair channel or something. Okay.
I don't have that one.
Okay. So
I'm not seeing it linked under any of your other channels.
It is. It's just called Media, Jason Johnston Media. It's kind of not the name of it anymore, but that's what it's listed for. Anyway, after I put up in fact, there'll be a new video that posts here in about 3 hours on that channel today. After I put up a few of those videos, I'm starting to get emails from people from ham radio operators who say, you know what? I thought about starting a channel. Would you? I might take you up on your offer for help. And I'm like, great. So I got like 2 or 3 of those guys who I've invited to join us on Friday, and maybe we'll see some new folks in there. So getting more ham radio on YouTube is a great thing in my opinion. So live cigars, yeah, Michael, Don Izzo and I have been talking about doing a happy hour for cigars, and we're gonna do that. And the reason we haven't done it yet is because of my funky schedule, because I've got certain things planned already, and I don't have time to do this and that. And it's hunting season. I've been out of town on the weekends, pretty much every weekend since like.
The hard thing for me with cigars is I got to smoke them outside.
See, well, I have to smoke them. I don't want to smoke one in here. I mean, I guess I could, but
you got a lot of radio equipment, and that makes it difficult.
Yeah, that's why
a lot of people thumb their nose about used equipment and that stuff, and I understand that, and I'm not trying to go down that path here.
Right.
I would just, if we could find an indoor place, that would be awesome.
Well, we could find an indoor place. Can we find one that's quiet enough to do a live stream on YouTube?
That's the hard part.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
I know several places that let you smoke inside.
Sure, yeah.
Can we take over the back room, and can you not let anyone else back there while we set up cameras and use your Wi-Fi? And your Wi-Fi is not fast enough, and we're bitching.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay, I just linked. That's the link to my other channel. Yeah. So Izzo started about talking to channel. So that's cool. That's really cool. Coming up to the hunting lease? I'm totally bored. Then we can go visit Philo T. Farnsworth's grandson together with a camera.
I don't know who that is.
So, I don't know who that is either. I apologize that you live in New York, but I don't know. What is this? Oh, that's somebody called me. From you for okay. Yeah, anyway, we're going to do a cigar night upcoming, and don't know when yet. Hopefully. Yeah, too bad I want to go ahead and get it started because we've been talking about it for a while, and the weather is cold here, and Izzo's up in like Connecticut, so it's even colder there. But I don't want to wait until like May or June. I want to just go ahead and get it done. So, yeah. I
just had a thought, and remind me when we go offline.
Okay.
Maybe there's a way we could do it, but I don't know. We'll see.
Cool.
It's 1:05.
It is 1:05. You need to go?
Yep.
Okay. Cool, man.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks for joining. Everyone. I'm gonna probably shut it down here myself. So thanks, Frank. Thanks for being here.
All right, y'all. Bye.
See ya. All right, guys. So let me know what you guys think about this format. Okay, this format it's very very laid back. That's the word I'm looking for. Very laid back, very laissez-faire, as it were. Want to know what you think about the format. This is for you guys, the channel members. And if it's something that I think, with 62 people watching and quite a few of you in the chat talking, Paul and Jim say they like it. Good deal. Thank you for that. We'll do it again. In fact, today's the second Wednesday of the month. So what I'm thinking about is just saying my second Wednesday lunchtime live stream of every month, we're going to do this format. That's what I'm thinking about. But again, today was a trial run. Wanted to see how it went. And I think it's been pretty good. So thanks guys for being here today. If you're watching this video on the replay or after the fact, feel free to comment on it. anybody can comment on the video after the fact. It was only the live chat that's restricted to members. So feel free to comment on the video after the fact if you have a suggestion or a question about it. I'd love to hear from you guys. So let's see. We can actually chat. Yeah, good deal. Thanks. Yeah, Michael, send me an email. I know you've got a channel you're working on. I think you might have posted a couple of videos already. Send me an email. Let me know what we can get together on some stuff. That's not a problem. Have you thought about a Zoom versus a live stream? Yes, I've thought about that. Yes, I've thought about that. I've got a couple of ideas on that. Haven't decided which direction to go with that yet. But that's one thing that that I have considered. Let's see. Bob, you're in your own little world up there, buddy. I don't know. The high altitude might be getting to your head. I don't know. So, thanks for being here. Hey, thanks for the new members who joined. Thanks for the other members who were here today. Hope you guys have a good Wednesday. Catch us tomorrow night, Thursday night ham radio, which I don't think T.O. has the playlist up yet. Let me check real quick. I don't think he has the playlist up yet for tomorrow night's. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have a playlist posted yet. Temporarily offline, we'll have a playlist posted for tomorrow night, Thursday night ham radio. I think it starts around 5 p.m. Central Time. And then Friday night, back on my channel, 8 p.m. Central Time for the ham radio happy hour with guests, YouTubers with guests. Appreciate you guys being here today, 73, and hope to see everyone tomorrow for Thursday night ham radio.
Shut up and sit down.